We're gonna put some music on. I'm gonna show you some simple moves. And I wanna see you express yourself through the movement to the music. So let's get moving. This is the joyful boogie approach, using music and movement as viable tools to help support or help prevent depression in seniors and the people who work with them. It makes me so happy seeing you guys do this. There are many forms of treatments, and it's a very treatable condition. Traditionally, there's been therapy, psychotherapy, group therapy, meds, but now there is a whole new field of alternative therapies.
The research has shown that when people are actively engaged in programs like movement, not only are their levels of depression decreased, but their use of medical services is decreased as well.
There are wonderful studies that do show how music affects the brain, and they show not only does it affect the brain, but music stimulates more parts of the brain than anything else.
When people are depressed, often they have unexpressed emotions, and the important value of a program like Joyful Boogie is that by getting up and active and engaging with other people, those emotions not only have a place to be expressed, but they can be transformed as well.
We know as physical therapists that emotions get stored in the body, in the muscle, in the tissue, connective tissue. And this is how we release depression, by moving it out of the body, and that's how healing can begin.
There's something called neural nostalgia. Neural nostalgia is, as you are going through puberty, your brain develops in a way where you become susceptible to lifelong musical imprints, which is why later in life, when you hear a song from that time of your life and you remember all the words, you can remember where you were when you heard it, it brings you back in time. Do you remember this? I think it's called the jerk, right? Is that what it's called?
It helps them to remember songs, remember rhythms, remember their youthful years, and have a great time.
There's that element of memory and rhythm, all great for balance and mobility.
There's a lot of benefits that you see besides physically, also mentally and emotionally. You get to see them in a better state. Their mood is a lot elevated and they perform a lot better.
Super simple movements that are connected to the music. Up, 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 up and down. It's that simple.
So simple movement, even if without music, just the moving in and of itself releases endorphins and neurotransmitters that do lift that mood and bring us to a place of joy.
And I want you to think grounded, solid, intentional movements, and then speaking the intentions.
And we add the voice to that. Studies have shown that this engages the brain even more.
I am strong. I am strong.
To have the voice added to that is a very powerful avenue of increasing the benefits.
And what we use as a framework are the 7 major energy systems in your body, known as the chakras. 7 different intentions that we're going to speak out loud together. Put your hand on your throat and say, I am expressive. I am expressive. Yes, you are. Yes, we are.
They really appreciate it. They appreciate the fact that you engage with them and they feel like you are part of their family.
The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go out and we're going to greet each individual. And the purpose of this is that this shakes up the energy in the room and it instantly engages people on an individual level. Here she is. Yay. Beautiful.
here as usual.
Yes, welcome. Nice to see you.
They're engaged because people are looking at them and modeling for them.
We meet people wherever they are. If someone is exuberant and enthusiastic, great. If someone is sleeping, great. It doesn't matter. We don't want to encourage them to do something they're not doing. I want every single person to have the experience of feeling seen.
There's even a woman, she's in a wheelchair, and she nods like this a lot. And that's also, it's kind of to the music, but it's also just comforting to her. And she still definitely is engaged by the music and by just being outside.
Depression, while one of the most common types of mental illness diagnoses in older adults, is not at all a normal part of aging. If someone is depressed as an older adult, it could be due to a lot of things. It could be actual clinical depression. It could be a side effect of medication. It could come from some other medical condition where depression also occurs.
Some of the symptoms that come along with people who have dementia mirror those symptoms, those people who have depression.
So it's really important for someone to get an accurate diagnosis and follow-up. A program like Joyful Boogie not only benefits the older adults who participate, but the people who are caring for them, they equally benefit from this enriched activity together.
It could benefit from just engaging and also just detaching from worry.
Nothing makes me happier than senior citizen disco robots.
When people are caring for older adults, the stresses can be very immense and people can develop depression.
Depression is a hard thing to catch. So as close as we are, there will be times where we'll still miss it. Our approach towards that is very, very careful. We try to talk to them and we try to see which way will benefit them more versus, addressing it right away or giving them some space.
When caring for an older adult at home, caregivers may experience many challenges as well as rewards. It can be very stressful.
If you're at home and some of the signs to look for would be the lack of interest in daily activity.
Is my appetite not as good as it used to be? Do I have a hard time getting up in the morning? Do I have a hard time falling asleep? Do I find myself crying?
It's important to notice that, not ignore it.
I'd recommend maybe implementing some exercise in their daily lives, even if it's, a 10-minute walk around. If they find that they're spending a lot of time by themselves, just try to get out and about in the world a little bit more. Connect with people.
When I think about, let's say, depression in particular, what my mind goes to is connection. Whether that is being connected to other people, being connected to yourself, or being connected to something greater than yourself.
There used to be a real stigma around having a mental health issue. But fortunately, mental health is now being spoken about. There are campaigns. We see them on the billboards in Los Angeles. It is coming to the surface. And in doing so, the stigma is changing. I want to encourage you that if you're in a position where you feel like you can use some support, reach out to a family member, reach out to a friend, reach out to your physician, do some research. Los Angeles County has numerous resources for mental health support. The Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health website lists pages and pages of resources for various different populations. There's also a 1-800 hotline phone number that you can call. And I want to thank you all for being here and going on this exploration with us. It was beautiful. Oh, we're fading. And freeze. That was beautiful.